Welcome back on Prime Morning. It is Beyond the Headlines with me, Benjamin Akapo. Now, in the next 40 or so minutes, we're going to bring you a lot about Ghana then and now. But before I introduce my guest, let me tell you a bit about being a part of Africa's Dialogue for Growth and Sustainable Development. It's slated for the 25th of September at 12:30 Join the third quarter edition of the AIE Forum 2021 on the topic, evaluating the role and involvement of African youth in Africa's move towards continental trade and integration. So how do you get registered? Just go to www.aieforum.org. That is www.aieforum.org. And just to whet your appetite, some of those coming, it's going to be moderated by Mr. Emmanuel K. Bensa Jr., Deputy Executive Director, APN, and some of the keynote speakers. Peter Kwesi Koji, General Secretary, All Africa Students Union, that is ASU. Other speakers include Andy O. Okra, President, Young Professionals and Youth Coalition, Nanekia Echampoma Etiahene Harriet, Deputy Head, Africa's Young Entrepreneurs Ghana, Elfa Saizi, International Business Management Institute of Kenya, Seidu Baba, Director of African Studies, Youth Up Global, and George Mensah Britain, a CEO. They'll all be joining the conversation. Now, today happens to be a Thursday, and you know what time it is when it comes to cheesy pizza. Present McCheesy combo every Monday and Thursday. Now, with only 49 Ghana cedis, you get one small pizza, fries, and chicken. One cola drink at all branches. So note, for only 49 Ghana cedis, you get one small pizza, fries, and chicken, and one cola drink at all branches of Cheesy Pizza. You can reach them on 0264 133 397. 0264 133 397. Cheesy Pizza, your way. Thank you for staying. Now, before we get into the conversation beyond the headlines, I'd just like you to note, I know some of you would like to get interactive on WhatsApp, some of you would like to get interactive via the phone lines when they're activated. Let's not go chock-a-block. When you want to send a WhatsApp message, it is 0551 575757. Don't call that line. WhatsApp only. 0551 575757. When the phone lines are activated, I shall let you know. But the number to call will be 0302 211 693 extension 4. 0302 211 693 extension 4. Our guest this morning is a two-time Chief of Defense Staff under Liman, under Rawlings. He has served as National Security Advisor under former President John Evans Atta Mills. May his soul rest in peace. And he's a man of many things. He is Joseph Nunoo-Mensah, Brigadier General. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Also a fisherman and a farmer.
Yes, a fisherman and a farmer. And I just want to start on this note, and a very, very, very simple man. How do you do it? With all the things you've achieved, you are so simple.
I'm so simple. That is my secret to good life.
Your secret to good life?
Yes. At 85, I drove Guinea last Tuesday. Have you seen an 85-year-old man driving in Accra today? No, seriously. But I want to learn. I'm learning every day. You know, every small thing that I come across, I learn. In fact, my learning is unstoppable. I was coming here this morning. I learned a lot about life. As if I have finished. I'm not finished. I'm just beginning. And learning every day. And so sometimes I wonder whether young people that are going to leave Ghana to look after are serious. Whether they are learning. This old English hymn, land of our birth, we pledge to thee our love and hope in the years to come. When we are grown and take our place as men and women with our race. With our race, in Europe, in Asia, they're going. Ghana was 64 years ago independent. We are still behaving as if it was yesterday we became independent. But others are going. They're leaving us. This is what makes me sad, that having lived in almost every country, every major country in the world, including India, Russia, Soviet Union those days, Britain many years, America, Canada. And then when you come back home, you get depressed. The Ghana is behaving as if we are learning nothing. We still go around borrowing money to give Kumasi water. Kumasi hasn't got proper water, sanitation. Then we go and borrow money. We are always borrowing. Always borrowing. And what knows what we do with the money we borrow?
The politicians tell you, like this administration has said, that it depends on what you're doing with the money you've borrowed. And if it's going into helping, the population, then it's worth borrowing. What do you think?
You borrow. First of all, I have never borrowed money before to do anything. To go to
never
school,
have?
Never. To go to school, I work to pay my school fees. My school, I work in the port carrying cocoa and cement. You see, when you learn like that, that's knowledge of life. I fish. I farm. I had a huge farm at Kwabeng, yes. Huge farm, a couple of years ago. So I never borrow any money because there's enough money to go around if you use the money wisely.
Right.
So when you borrow money to invest, to make life better for the future, I have no problem with that. But when you borrow money to spend to buy luxury cars for ministers, I have a lot of problem with that.
Right. You've got a problem with the purchase of all these V8 vehicles for the executive.
Yes, it's wrong. The money which is borrowed, who's going to pay? These poor people today, soon at 85, how many more years have I got to live? I go back to 70, what? 76, 77?
Yeah.
How long? So we borrow and spend money and go away. Then you and your children are going to pay. We're saddling you with all these burden. But if you had invested the money properly, out of the whatever you earn, out of that investment, you can pay our debts. Our debts mount. Then we go HIPIC 1. Now we're going to go HIPIC 2 to forgive our sins, our debts. We're always going begging to forgive, but we don't learn from anything. That's my worry.
And that is indeed a big worry. But the last time you came here, we started the conversation on education.
Yes.
And I'm bringing it back because you spoke about free SHS itself being a political gimmick, just a tool to win votes. You spoke about the fact that we have disciplinary problems, even in education, and that's why education is not making any progress. But what do you think about this? Only yesterday, we got wind of some exam leakages. WAEC has moved away from the word leakage, but it is what it is. If questions are supposedly out on social media, if social media cartels are talking about them, then there are leakages. What do you feel about this perennial problem of WAEC examination leakages? What do you think? What is the problem?
I can think of two major problems. First of all, we are not disciplined. Children are not disciplined today. I use my own life as an example. In my house, growing up, everybody was a fisherman. Everybody was a fisherman. I was just a fisherman. But my father taught you how to be truthful, to be honest. In fact, there were two societies in Winneba: Honest Society and Hope Society. My father was in Honest Society. My mother was in Hope Society.
Wow.
Yes, hope and honesty. And they taught us those values right from birth. My father would send you, go and buy me something. He won't give you money. You go to his bedroom, lift his pillow, and take money. All his money was under his pillow. And then you take what you needed to go and buy. When you come back, whatever you went to buy for him, you give it to him. Go back to his bedroom, put the change where you took it from. That is teaching of honesty. It's not there. So I will leave money in my house. And my children will never touch it. If they touch it, they say, Daddy, I took this from your money. Because I teach them to behave like that. Today, children are misbehaving because they were not properly grounded on etiquette, on discipline, on the values of life. In those days, the values were honesty, integrity. It was drilled into you by your father, fisherman father, not by educated father. My father knew the Bible inside out. He couldn't read for anything, but he learned the values of, and they live the teachings of the Bible. They live it. They didn't go to, you talk about Usu Bempe. They don't go become pastors and they do something else. They live as if God was living in them.
Right.
That is why these things happen. But today, there are many children who don't know who their fathers are. And I'm speaking from experience. I have many grandchildren, I don't know, not my brother's grandchildren, who don't know who their parents are. And it's a big social problem in Ghana here. How does this child grow up to have certain values if there's no father in the house. Then also the demand of society. Today, I went to the army with O level. Today you need 2 degrees. So whatever you need to do to get the 2 degrees, go and get them, and then go to the army.
And it's been said that even in our educational system, you know, it's so conclusive. If you sit WASI and you don't pass, it's almost as though it were a life sentence of sorts. So people would do anything to pass the exam, which is also causing this sore of exam leakages and all these things to fester.
Yes. That is, society demands too much from the young person. To succeed, you must get paper qualification. I succeeded with O level. You need maybe a doctorate degree. To be
are we too focused on paper?
Yeah, we are too focused on paper. And today, what is education? Is it paper qualification? Or someone like me who can farm, who can fish, who can build, can do virtually anything. That means education at its best, not paper qualification. That's what we are asking for. So we are putting pressure on the young people to acquire paper qualification, and whatever they need to do to acquire that, they will do it, if it means going to. And the teachers too, whoever the exam, who leak these things to them, I don't know. So we have a social problem that will require a lot of effort to correct it. The children who are coming up, today a child meets you and asks for money. I couldn't believe it. That nothing that going through, you know where I live, near Soul Clinic School. There's a traffic light there. So a young girl, little girl, carrying a baby, little girl, it was not her child. The mother is sitting under the tree somewhere, asking them to go and beg. Now this makes me sick. Ghana
see a lot of that.
A lot of that, but Ghana shouldn't go begging. I live in India for a year. I went through India everywhere. We are worse off than what India was when I was there today, begging everybody. Begging everywhere. So these values we are showing. We are showing that because we were not properly grounded on the values of life, the real values. If you drive a Land Cruiser, I don't like driving any new car, even if I will never drive it.
And I know what sort of cars you have, though you could afford much bigger ones. And it goes back to how simple you are. But, you know, there was a time when I was asking myself, if you pick an American, maybe you could say they stand for this. If you pick a Chinese, you could say this is what they stand for. When you pick the Ghanaian, what does the Ghanaian stand for? Very briefly, what do you think?
It stands for
do we stand for anything?
No, for nothing. They don't know who he is. You know, when you met a Ghanaian abroad, 1961, he was a Ghanaian. First of all, the way he dressed. Come on with word kente, whatever you wear, word kente, to show the African personality. Not only in Ghana, but outside Ghana. Your food you eat is Ghanaian food. Today, if you go to any of the supermarkets there, everything is important. That makes me sick. A nation, look at the weather today. You can grow anything, and yet we import everything. What the hell is happening to our mentality? You don't behave like Africans. You don't behave like Ghanaians, because we are enthused by Chinese food, by Indian food. We don't even know how to make our boy in Ghana here. Anything Ghanaian, we don't know how to do it. My son has a wife who is British. If you see her eating kenke, you'll love it. You know, we should love our culture. Be proud to be African. Be proud to be Ghanaians. You try to be like white people. I'm wearing this the way I was brought. You can't be former chief of defense staff. You can't go to Sandhurst, the topmost school in the world, military school, and come back and don't dress properly. It's out of the question. So the way we bring up our children is important.
Right. Now, you're talking about importing so many things, and we import practically everything, toothpicks even. But talking about food, and food issues are security issues. We've recently heard from the Agric Minister and his deputies on the back of the fact that some foodstuffs, we've, so to speak, run out. We're in a hard place, and so the prices have gone up. There's been talk of securing our borders, no further export of such food products, especially grain, maize, and the rest. Some have said that there will be consequences of that because neighboring countries could also withhold their exports to our country. But for a country that said, categorically that we good place, planting for food and jobs and all of that. And all of a sudden, within just about a week or two of what the minister said, we are exposed in this way. What does that reveal to you, especially as a farmer?
We are now in September.
Right.
August Infante is Zifu. It means eat and put on weight. I mean, that is August Infante in a can. At this time, where I grew up, there was fish everywhere. The farm produce are coming out. Fish, plantain, fresh cassava, fresh everything. I was winning back Tuesday for 2 reasons. One reason was to buy food. It's a market day. My mother used to sell market day, so I knew the area, like my palm. But you don't invest enough in agriculture. And if you are going hungry at this time, when you are supposed to put on weight, God knows what will happen about January, February, March next year. I'm warning you, you're going to be famine if you don't take. But if you cannot feed yourself at this time, look at the weather. Look at the winds.
Well, we're still awaiting the harvest, for some crops. We're still awaiting the harvest.
Cassava doesn't have a season. Cassava should be growing everywhere, every time. You can make bread out of cassava, everything cassava bread. You won't know whether it's flour from wheat or flour from cassava. So, and in Nkrumah's time, I'll go back. You people, you are born at the wrong time.
But we do know about Impunity.
No, because I live a wonderful life. My father never, ever, once in his life, was chief of defense staff. My son need 1 cedi. Never. Never. Today, look at my phone. People are begging me. I can't even sleep. We become a nation of beggars. And for Ghana to go
become
begging.
a nation of beggars.
Yes.
Right.
Everybody is begging. We are begging. The country is begging. Begging rich countries to give us money to do this. Come on. We don't need to beg. And when food becomes an issue in this weather, then there's a problem. In India, 1975, and talked to one of my friends, a chap called Brigadier Berry, and said, at our Champions project, the food thing had, cut up. That was food. This is so much rice. In my house, I had a small potted farm behind my boss quarters. And my children would pick 15, 16 eggs every day. Eggs from our backyard. The inputs are there. The old chicks are there. The feed is there. Everything is there. Today, in Ghana, you go to Guinea, where I grew up. You have got assemblies there. Municipal assembly. You want to buy seats, you can't get. You can't get even Accra here. You can't. What kind of country is this?
Right.
It's sickening. You can't get. Now, Champions time. Some 50 years ago, almost, we could feed ourselves. But Champions made sure that, you see that the military, there's a problem with civilians. I have a problem with civilians. You can get degrees A to Z and be uneducated. The sense that you don't know how to do anything. You can't do anything. But I made sure that at least Ghana could feed itself. Operation Feed Yourself. Today, my house. That house I live in, Cantonments, is the price of 1 finger of plantain.
Is that how much you bought it for?
Yes.
How much was it back then?
25,000 old cedis. 2 cedis, 50 pesos today.
25,000 old cedis, which
yes.
is 2 cedis, 50 pesos.
Yes.
How long ago was this?
1974, 75. Complete 1975.
Of course, there's been inflation and...
So you those who are born beyond that, have a problem.
Now that you mention Nkrumah, September the 21st is Nkrumah Memorial Day. We've been told now it's going to be marked as a holiday. You lived through the Nkrumah era. You actually experienced him. How stark is the difference between an Nkrumah and a John Mahama, an Nkrumah and a Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo? What are the differences, sharp differences you see?
When you're a politician, you must have a dream. I have a dream. Martin Luther King. I have a dream. You have to have a dream. You have to have a vision. And have that dream in front of you. That's what I want to achieve. Whenever I give it a chance to live and come to power. Nkrumah had a dream. I lived in America and saw how the black went through in America. And they're still going through. Nothing has changed. I had a dream to get the black man to be like the white man, to get independence and expand that across the continent. And beyond that, in the diaspora, go to Europe, let the black feel that he was human. He had a dream. And when he came to power, he sure that that dream was attained.
Right.
Today, our politicians don't have any dream. The only thing they have,
the Mahamas, the Akufo-Addos, they don't have any dream.
Whether they are president, former president of America.
Which one?
Before Biden, what was his name?
Oh, Donald Trump.
Trump. He's going to be a war between Mexico and America. So the Americans are going to pay for the war. If I ask Turkey to go and vote for Christmas, they'll be clapping their hands because they're going to chop their heads. You see, the politician today doesn't have any true agenda to build Ghana. I'm telling you, I've worked with all of them. I worked with Nkrumah when they could. I worked with Nkrumah in the Flagstaff House. I saw the man in action. He was selfless. He came to London in 1965, a year before he was overthrown. I was there, doing some course in Britain as a young officer. He stayed in one bedroom in Kwesi Ama's house, the High Commissioner's house. I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes. One bedroom, like a poor, ordinary person. He had an agenda to invest the money to make Africa as good as the white man's was. Today, look at how you spend our money. What have you achieved since 1993, the coming into force of the fourth Republican Constitution? What have you achieved? I don't see anything. Anything substantial you can point to. Before you come out of the throne, you can point to huge projects. Not only him too. People like Nkulenu, to get orange juice, authentic orange juice. So they're all imported with chemicals everywhere. So when you get a labor problem, you don't understand it. They're coming from the chemical they put into the thing. Why can't you have fresh orange juice, fresh pawpaw, fresh this and eat them? Oh, I bought fresh pawpaw in my house. That's all I'm eating this morning. Pawpaw. I don't put any weight. So,
well, at least there have been some efforts on the back of 1D, 1F, and I think the Ekumfi juice factory is one of those. We don't have enough of those.
No, definitely. We don't have that. See, you didn't live in the area I'm talking about. Everywhere you went, you see Nkrumah's fingerprints. In Tema, you saw Black Star Line. Yeah. You saw Ghana of Africa. With Ghanaian pilots, Dokenu, and the others, Grand Sam. You go to London and you fly in a plane by a Ghanaian, a black man, and you feel very proud. The black man could manage his own affairs. You have Fisherman coming from America with a ship, young Navy officer, from New York to Accra. Come on, it made you proud.
We've lost the plot, haven't we?
We lost our way. We lost our way. To be honest with you, with the Nkrumah overthrow, Ghana lost its way and Ghana has not recovered. No, we lost our way. Yeah. What was existing then? We got the Tema, all the steel works. I've got iron rods which I bought for my house. 800 cedis a ton. It's 8 pesos. In today's currency, 8 pesos a ton. I bought 5 tons. That's 40 pesos. They are as big as my thumb. So no, we lost our way. And so you cannot compare current rulers to Sarah, Nyerere, and others. Right. They were, I think they were done by God to redeem Africa from servitude.
The Julius Nyerere.
Oh, Nyerere died. No, when Nyerere retired, he didn't have anywhere to sleep. Tanzanians made contribution. They went begging for to build the former president a house, 3-bedroom house. Right. That's the leadership I'm talking about, of quality, of integrity, of honesty, of sincerity. We don't have them.
Tell me, as we gear up to celebrate Nkrumah Memorial Day, if you could, what would be your call to the likes of the sitting president and the former president? And I put the two of them side by side because you can see, well, the former president also gearing up maybe to his boots for another turn in the coming elections, and the sitting president. You say we've lost the plot. What would be your call to them? You can address the current president. You could address the former president.
I have worked with the current president, the former president, and Nkrumah, so I know them pretty. I'm writing a book, and I would tell the country, you young people, who I think they are, without pulling any punches.
Right.
Nkrumah had a problem that, because of his agenda, people hated him. Those who hated really hated him. The opposition didn't like him in those days. Europeans, Western Europe didn't like him. So a conspiracy to bring Nkrumah down, not knowing that if you cut your nose, you're going to spite your face. We joined in to bring Nkrumah down and went systematically further to destroy Nkrumah's legacy. At the time when you see with the Nkrumah's book, you committed a crime. So I don't believe that the people don't have Nkrumah's quality, who he was. We have politicians, we don't have leaders.
We have politicians, we don't have leaders.
Who was a leader? He led from the front. No, not today.
Akufo-Addo, Mahama, they are not leaders.
Yes. And
They're
I'm
just
saying
politicians.
That, yes. Who will do anything to get power?
Right.
Leader doesn't think about the gain he himself is making. Today, I drove through the cantonments and I saw all the buildings there. In Nkrumah's time, they belong to the states. Ministers, judges, all government officials live there. Because from there to the government offices in Osu, you can walk to work. Nkrumah never sold one land. Nkrumah never acquired any land. Today, you go and see politicians, former presidents, everybody is scrambling for land, forgetting that they are in power to serve their people, not to lord it over them. And I said last time I was here that power belongs to the people. Power belongs to the people. Democracy is a government of the people, for the people, by the people. You come to serve them. When I believe, they see how much I can grab, how much I can grab for my family. That's what's going on. You know, and it's a sickening. It is sickening.
Now that you mention all of this, there's another aspect of the conversation we ought to be looking at: impunity. And whether it is X party or Y party in power, those who are tied to those who walk the corridors of power can often act with some level of impunity. I speak here of someone whose name you mentioned in one of your earlier submissions, Owusu Bempah, a reverend. From 2018, we saw that Hot FM incident, 2019, the XYZ attack, and most recently, the skirmishes with Nana Grada, and even assaulting the police. Now, he's been granted bail. Why do you feel we have this persistent case of impunity where some people are above the law, or sacred cows, so to speak?
It's going to be beyond impunity. There's also a conspiracy.
Conspiracy?
Between the two parties against the people of this country. When there's something which is being done by a certain president or certain party, the other party, if it affects them, to get a loan and share the money, they keep quiet. They conspire to share, take and share. Not think about it. You go to Nima, go to any of these outlying areas of Accra and see how people live. It's sad. Otherwise, you don't go and break down trade fair. Now, NDC won the what? NDC won the what do you call it? Labadi.
Is it Ladade Kotopon?
NDC won it. Took it from the MPP. But in front of their noses, we are pulling down trade fair. And the youth of this country, the youth of Osu, Labadi, Teshe and Ngwa, they are watching it.
What do you have the youth do?
The future belongs to them all. Me, at 85, I'm along. I'm gone. You will take over. And you take over a country which has been sold, which has been neo-colonized. Neo-colonized. One of Nkrumah's aim was to stop at being neo-colonized by another force from the Arab world, from the Far East. And today, I'm telling you, if I am alive, I will fight tooth and nail to defend that place there. And I will call on the youth of this country, particularly Osu, Labadi, Teshe and Ngwa, to get up and stop that being sold to foreign interests. Because it will destroy their future. I'll be gone, but I will hate in my grave, I'll be getting angry. It shouldn't happen. Today, you want to go to Makola. I used to go there once every weekend. I can't go there. It's choked. Go to Winneba Tuesday. The traffic from Wager to Winneba was choked tail to tail. They're all rushing to Accra to Makola because you can't park. It's time now to acquire that land and develop it into a multi-purpose market. Good roads from everywhere. Instead, I'm told we have sold it, and I will fight it till I die. And if they won't join me to fight, they will remember me when I'm gone.
Point made. Let me just draw you back a bit. So on this bit about impunity and the person involved, you're someone you supported in the last election, Christian Kwabena Andrews, Sofotri Abosom.
Yes.
He has said, of the Ghana Union movement, of course, he has said that if this reverend, he came out supporting him initially, but when he found out what had been done, he withdrew the support. And he has said that if he remains behind bars, or at least in cells, now he's been bailed, he would pop champagne. How do you react to that? Just because you supported him back then. If Owusu Bempah remains, incarcerated, he would pop champagne.
Yeah, he would support him to be.
He would pop champagne.
Yeah.
If he remains
in there.
Behind bars.
I joined. I didn't join. I really threw my weight behind the Ghana Union movement. When I watched what was going on, and his MPP were just wasting our time. I heard of this man. So one day I went to him. I drove to go to him and sat down with him, like I'm sitting down with you today. I said, now, what are you talking about? He took me through an hour of his vision. Next day, he came to my house. You can look at that. I said, I will support you. Because you have a vision that meets my vision. To reclaim the lost past of this country for the sake of the youth. That's why I threw my weight behind him. But I found that he was actually not succeeding. The Ghanaian, you go somewhere, went somewhere near Aguna Swedru, and the woman was saying, Mama, you second Mama Musika, I want to Abamam. So, my man, are your mind working well? I should pay you. At my age, I should pay you. You think I want the power for myself? No, I don't want any power for yourself. So, we have a problem of impunity. If you would draw, I don't know, Reverend, I've heard this, never seen before. But what he's acclaimed to be doing, and I'm not surprised, well, there's impunity everywhere. And in my mind, I'm in support of Chirabosom, that whoever does wrong should be dealt with by the law. But people get away with murder in this country, literally, and nothing happens to them. And you can't build a country successfully. You don't deal with criminals. And there are many of them around every point. I know them, lots of them, maneuvering. But I'm telling the youth again, because what they are doing, when I won't ask you your age, when you get to my age, how long will that take?
Quite a while.
Ghana may not be there. No, I'm telling you. What's going on in Libya.
When some of us get to your age, Ghana may not even exist.
Yeah, may not be there.
Why?
And I'm coming to that. Oh, look at the world around. Look at countries like Libya, like Iraq, Afghanistan. Imran Khan, who is president of former cricketer of Pakistan, was talking yesterday, and I heard a bit of it. Yes, that if that thing fails, the whole area will be on fire. And look at the countries which have gone bust. Saddam Hussein's Iraq, Gaddafi's Iran, and the rest of them. If Ghana collapses, we will go that way. You'll be chaos. Everybody will have a gun, chopping each other's head down. So you should prevent that from happening. Not allowing criminal gangsters to take over the country, destroy your children, your grandchildren. I'll be gone at that time.
Speaking of which, we have, and just to broaden the conversation briefly, we have what has happened in Guinea. And the other day you gave your verdict. You did indicate that African leaders are failing woefully And that is why we keep seeing what is happening. What has happened in Mali, what is happening in Guinea, and what Professor Enning has said could happen in at least 2 other countries before the end of the year. Our leadership on the continent, what are the crucial things they ought to be addressing on your fingertips to avert such incidents from happening time and again? Because it's becoming a pattern, especially in West Africa.
It is going to be a pattern. When coup started in the 60s, it became a pattern. And it went on and on. This thing is not going to stop with Guinea. It's just beginning. It's going to go on. ECOWAS discusses Guinea in Accra today. I think they don't know what's going on. When they see their colleagues doing things which are not constitutional, they keep quiet. But they have interest in that. But when the soldiers get up and do their stupid things, then they get frightened.
Alpha Conde, had to change the constitution for a 3rd term. A referendum was held and all of that. But when you look at the people hitting the streets, and no coup is a good coup, but when you look at the people hitting the streets and celebrating a coup d'etat, it paints a picture, doesn't it?
It paints a picture. But do they see the picture that is painting? I'm talking about ECOWAS leaders. When their colleagues were breaking the constitution, which is the first law of the state, and they keep quiet. Were they asleep? They go to bed? They see what's going on? Then this lieutenant cannot get up. I don't support any coup at all. But when things go the way they went, and they will go in many other countries, somebody is going to get up and intervene. Whether we like it or not, someone is going to get up. In Ghana here, if we don't take care, it's not the army. People are coming from Amobi, Nima, and Sotom and all that places there, the cutlasses. God forbid. Forbid. Doesn't happen. But pray to God is not enough.
That would be a people's revolution.
Yes. And that's
what you are suggesting.
Yes, and that is very frightening. The military, actually, that's chain of command. June 4th, I was there as chief of defense staff. I'll give order and people will obey. Here, nobody is going to give any order. It will be chaos. What happened in Libya, in Iraq, and somehow Syria will develop into that. And the warning is there, the signs are there, that if we don't get our house in order and keep on behaving the way we are behaving, we might inadvertently trip to that situation.
Right.
So that's the warning to our leaders. Yeah, ECOWAS shouldn't meet and discuss Guinea. And you should say to the army man to hand over and so on. You don't hand over just like that.
Sanctions and all that.
Yes, sanctions and that. This, I don't support it. But the people of Guinea and those who were celebrating, I was on one of your sister stations a few days ago. They asked for coup in Ghana here. People calling, they want coup. But people are sleeping rough at Tudu. But they don't want coup. They say they want a coup.
So tell me, now that ECOWAS leaders are meeting here, converging in Accra today, if you could speak to these ECOWAS leaders as a security analyst, I should put it that way, someone who lived through, our security system. Moving forward, if you could advise them, what would you tell them about the situation in Guinea and how to forestall similar incidents? What would you say?
First of all, I don't support the ability to stay in power. I don't support it. We have power. But if you're within a structured system, you can't just go and hand over power tomorrow. I don't know how much damage former President Conte did to the country. They have to be supported to do it orderly and do it quickly. But don't write them out, because that may even chaotic. I mean, we have a situation in Ghana today, or not today, in the past, June 4th, before June 4th, 15th of May. You were not there anyway, so listen to me carefully. I've been everywhere who are happening in Ghana. I was always there. I've learned a lot of lessons. Rollins came in. We knew, the top military knew that army had overstayed. He had to go back to barracks. We had outlived our welcome with our champion school, but wouldn't give a damn to it. You had to take him aside and hand over power. And the young officer said, you haven't cleaned the house enough. I'm sure the house cleaning to be done in Guinea. So come on, there'll be some house. Those young men there, encourage them to do it orderly and get out of politics.
The Ghanaian soldiers should be encouraged to do it in an orderly fashion rather than say, step out.
Yes.
And let's...
Because it can cause another confusion.
It could actually lead to another coup.
Some sergeant will get up and say, like it happened in 1967, after the overthrow of Nkrumah. A year on, 17th of February, SB Ata Yabua shot Yena Kotoka, you don't know, at the airport. That was named after Kotoka International Airport. So if you do it in a hurry, it might end up in chaos. There are a lot of history to learn from.
Right. To wrap this conversation, I'd like us to go light as we wrap up the conversation. I know you're a man of, you love sports as well. I was just going through my archives yesterday and I saw, a clipping from October 25, 1957. And it was about the Black Stars and the naming of a team. We have CK Akono, who has now been, axed, and we're bringing Milovan Rajevac, who led our Black Stars in 2010. Fond memories of him. What do you think about that situation? And would you do a local coach or a foreign coach? Of course, we've already decided where we're going.
No. Again, let's go back to history. Whether Nkrumah would happen. Nkrumah believed in a black man. Black man, and I believe in a black because I went to Britain. I believe in myself. Fisherman father, mother selling plantain. You go to Britain and you get the best of the lot in your intake in Great Britain. What? There's much to be got from the black man. But we don't have faith in the black man. Nkrumah would never have done anything like this. CK Jenfi, we whacked Nigeria 7-0. You have heard it before?
Yes.
1964.
Actually, that is in this clipping that I was looking at. And they were looking forward to a repeat.
Yes. So you said black man cannot manage his own affairs? Come on, of course we can. We are proving it in the military, in sports. Mike Ahi, CK, DK Poison. He won what? What did he win? I'm just testing your knowledge of history.
Well, he won one of the world titles.
He won the World Featherweight Championship. He won it. So Ghana has been great before because the leader then believed in the black man. They go and make a white man come and do what? They come and pay them huge sums of money and have a good holiday. What have you won? We can win anything with the black man if you properly, support, get the right person. What is the white man going to do that the black man cannot do?
So you are not in support of a foreign coach?
But we have been independent since 4 years. We are still going around looking for foreign coach. What the hell have you done with your independence? What the hell have you done with your independence? Since 4 years, you're begging, you are, come on, you don't believe it. You go to any of the shops in Accra here. Everything is imported, is foreign. Come on, look, you should stop this nonsense going on in Ghana and believe in the Ghana. You can grow wheat in Ghana. You can grow anything in Ghana. You can grow potatoes in Ghana. Tell me you can't grow, and I'll grow it and come and show it to you. But we don't believe in ourselves.
Thank you. Stop this nonsense of bringing everything imported and believe in yourself. Believe in the Ghanaian. This is where we're going to draw the curtains on the conversation. Grateful as always for your time. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. It's been refreshing having the second chapter with Brigadier General Joseph Nunoo-Mensah. He has nothing to lose. He holds no punches, and he shared his thoughts with us on Beyond the Headlines this morning. Once more, General, thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you all.
We take a breather here, and when we return, you know what to expect. Many conversations on employability and employability of the youth and more. Do stay.